This week, part of my pastoral responsibilities included traveling to Seattle to meet with the Board of Ordained Ministry. That's the group that sort of tends to pastors, both in their formation, if they're exploring a call to ordained ministry, if they're pursuing a call to ordained ministry, which means both commissioning, the first step of ordination, and ordination, the second step. It involves formation for our pastors who are already serving. It involves equipping laity who are going to serve a church, like Karen Fisher serves up in Chelan as a layperson who is working as a pastor. The work is layered. There's lots of arms to it. I oversee the Residence in Ministry program, which helps to build community and to offer enrichment and continued learning for those who are provisional members, both elders and deacons, those who've been commissioned, the first step of ordination, kind of like your residency as a doctor, but haven't yet been fully ordained to the full order of elder or deacon. So on Tuesday, we met with the bishop and the district superintendents, known as the appointed cabinet collectively. So the executive board, the leadership of Board of Ordained Ministry, plus the cabinet, the bishop and the superintendents, to talk about some of our shared work, some of the new features of working with a new bishop, some of the places where we've had struggle in the last several years, some of the places where we have vision to do new things, and then a full board meeting on Wednesday, which was hybrid, including some folks who were joining us virtually. There are lots of layers to the work in the United Methodist Church, and we are continuing to learn and grow together. And a repeated theme in those meetings was that church is looking different and likely to continue to look different for how we do ministry. Sometimes with churches struggling to meet the needs of their community and offer outreach. Sometimes churches that are struggling to meet the maintenance needs of their community. Sometimes a church roof that's going to cost $500,000, but an annual budget of just $100,000. And maybe they don't have endowments or money in savings to afford those things. So what do those churches do with their buildings? Looking at cooperative ministries and collaboration between churches within a regional area to come together, shared youth ministry options, shared pastors, co-pastorates, a whole lot of different things, conversations that smaller churches may need to share pastors. Maybe the bigger churches will be sharing pastors so that we have sort of a team model. Not a ton of decisive things, though innovative things that we heard stories about and shared about where those things are already happening, but definitely a true reminder that church is going to continue to look different. We have to continue to imagine the life that we are called to live as followers of Jesus Christ. And that may happen in a traditional church building. It may happen in a building like Tacoma First, which is a restored office building, or maybe renovated warehouse. I'm not really sure. It definitely is not your traditional church with a fellowship hall and a steeple or a bell tower or an organ or any of those things. I want us to continue to live faithfully as First United Methodist Church, which in many ways we get to be a traditional church, quote unquote, right? We have the cross at the front, we have a big sanctuary, we have a pipe organ, we have a fellowship hall, we have lots of folks and ways to be the church in our community. But also, I think we're called to continue exploring the potential of who we are called to be differently in our community. How we might be different in who we are collectively and reaching new people and being different in different spaces so that we might continue to grow and flex with the larger church, United Methodist Church, but other denominations too are experiencing the shift. And I think when we're sort of safe in our zone like we are at First Church with our sanctuary and our building and our regular budget and our full-time pastor, we can think those are other people's problems and not ours, but we're invited to be thinking and imagining and praying too about the future and how we might begin to plan for that and prepare for that even now. Take care, friends.